Okay, guys, welcome to the live. We're going to get started in just a second. Okay, wait. It's going to go here. So, the read tonight is actually going to be Dark Ages. We're going to do like a self-contained late night read. I'm a little late because I meant to do some stuff about my dragon eggs earlier, but time got away from me. And I've been meaning to do this read, which is actually from the library, for a little while, just so you guys can have it, and then you can get the replay on all channels if you're part of the Cosmic Comic Book Club. So welcome, I'm Mary Jane. I was going to do like a little version of like Peter Parker's female version, because there's actually a comic book about that, but welcome to the Spider-Verse. We're going to read a little Marvel Dark Ages, so welcome to the live. Hey Brandon, saw you there. No gloves today. Sorry. Tomorrow, I have some fun stuff planned with Kitty Pride, as well as some gaming things to talk about in terms of modeling astro and reality and using your astrology stack in order to do that. So that's tomorrow. Tonight, we're going to be just doing a read. So welcome. Get nice and comfy. Get a hot beverage. Go to drift off into dreamland. So get ready for your weekend read late night story. Hi, Brando. Okay, and thanks, Daniel. Get comfy. So we got Dark Ages. It's a cool little, it's kind of like very apocalyptic, but I kind of like it just because it's not as, how should I put it? It's not as dark as you would think, even though it's called Dark Ages. There's always a silver lining when it comes to certain challenges, right? So welcome you guys to the read. Okay, so here we go. I'm trying to make sure there's no glare. Yeah, there we go. Can you see that? It's a nice panel, actually. I'm just trying to make sure. I thought that this was at first Mary Jane, but it's not. It's Pepper Potts. So to all the redheads out there in Marvel, if I go this way, and I'm not going to turn around. I'm not going to attempt the algorithm that way. Okay. New York never sleeps. It glowed at night. It hummed. And then there's a rumble. But that was before. Tony, the building, it's shaking. So the building is shaking. Pepper's calling out for Tony Stark. And Tony, Iron Man, is up in the sky saying, yeah, all of the buildings in this city, so we're in New York City, all the buildings are shaking. We're working on it. I think he means the Avengers are working on it. Yes, it's MJ, Mary Jane Watson, your bestie, the girl next door, you know, the one who's got your back, that kind of situation. I know that Mary Jane, let me fix my bangs. Mary Jane sometimes gets a bad rap, right? I think like there's certain versions of her where she cheats on Peter, but this is a good version here. They do actually get married in 1987. In a comic book, so that's the one I'm going with. OC Pagey Mother MJ, yeah, and of course the double entendre of how much I love Mary Jane in all of her forms. The double entendre is very much went there, right? So, I mean, I also love Black Cat, so, but there is a thing to be said for like your one first true love, the girl next door who's like your best friend as well. So I am. Okay, so he's also listening to this bedtime read. Okay, so Tony Stark's in the air flying, and Pepper called him basically saying, I love Black Cat too, but like Black Cat's her own thing. I mean, in your own story of life, you probably have a few archetypes, girlfriend, boyfriend types who actually, how should I put it? They are part of your hero's journey, right? So, you know, you have the girl next door, you have the femme fatale, you have like the more like mother goddess energy, you have like more auntie energy, you have your best friend who's like more like Megan Fox versus, so these different types all exist. And I think for each like superhero archetype, who you have in your corner, who you choose as like who's going to be like the one you marry is kind of also like what story you're going to be playing out. I love Gwen Stacy too, of course. All right, let's keep going. Okay. You're working on the earthquake, says Pepper's like, so you're going to stop the whole building from shaking? And Iron Man says back, yes, Pepper, but if you're worried the building is going to fall down, you should get down to the bunker. And Pepper says back very angrily, she's like, the bunker? I'm not going to the bunker. Tony, if the building falls down, I really don't want to be under it. Pepper, Galactus could tap dance on that bunker. So he's just basically saying it's safe. So even Galactus can't even get to it. I had an OC character, third child of Tony and Pepper. Her name is, I love your names, Gwen Stacy, too. Everly, 10 months. Aw, love that. Pepper, I feel like would be a good mom. You know what, though? I'm not the biggest fan of Gwyneth Paltrow. She's okay as Pepper, though. It's okay. Carker, thanks for the follow. So we're reading Dark Ages today. I really do love Peter Parker in this version. You'll see why. Just he's like a older, more mature Peter. So, thank you. So welcome to the read. If you're new here, I read you guys comic books in cosplay as a way of bringing comic book stories to life, right? Because reading comic books is actually not accessible to everybody, right? When I first started reading you guys comic books live, it wasn't easy. I got like people were kind of like mean to me about it, right? I didn't do voices. And also too, like when you're reading comics, right? Every panel is different. Some of them you go left to right, some of them go up and down, some of them are just one page panels. So literally every page in every comic book is different. And so, you know, sometimes if I haven't read this one, I read this in the bath before I went live, and I'm like, okay, tonight's gonna be the night that I read this story to you guys. But yes, comics can be expensive, so this is why this one's from the library. So some comic books I own, I've gotten as gifts. The singles are, you know, you can get like think of it as like a TV show, right? When you just jump into an episodic show, and the show is a nice tub. Anyways, I want a koozie tub. Yeah, well, I mean, taking baths, like water is a form of, it's like a portal, right? So whatever you think of anything, if you were to dip yourself in water, whether or not it's like a glacier water, a lake, or a tub, or you surround yourself in water, it's a way of like divinating. Think about water as being able to change state and stuff, right? So, well, Faram, thank you. You guys, welcome. I'm Mary Jane, and does the person asking, Martin, asking Marvel or DC? I don't know if I could choose. Tonight it's Marvel, just because, you know, that's how I divinate too. You know, like when you have your whole bookshelf and you're like, what do I read tonight? And you just pick one randomly and you open up the page. One could say that you were meant to read that line, right? So there's a level of like interpreting messages from the universe through things that seem frivolous, like comic books, right? So if you guys have not read this story before, this is Dark Ages. I got this from the library. And I go to the library to pick up certain stories that are too expensive for me to own just yet, right? The main the tomes, I guess that's how you call it. Like, welcome back, Gwen Stacy. This is like the perfect read for you too, right? Because in this story, we have the Fantastic Four as well, which are the first family, and it does a great job of talking about the importance of Franklin Richards and, you know, concepts of pocket universes when you come to the end of an era, and then, like, what does it mean after you go through that portal of, like, the end, right? Because it's not the end, right? Totally make sure you keep your wife, Peter, safe, and your daughter, Everly, safe, too. Yes, the donut dimension. Oh, Pokey, you came at the right time. Well, think about it. Donuts do have a hole in them. One could say that it could be a portal. Hmm. What are your favorite types of portals? I like dream portals, right? But other portals exist. Like um, tomorrow, I'll be doing stuff on my dream dragons because I make dream dragon eggs, which are based on the metallic dragons of the Forgotten Realms. And so I'm going to be talking a little bit about electric dream dragons tomorrow, and dreams themselves. Dream interpretation is something I'm pretty well versed in, and so we'll do some dream interpretation tomorrow as well. And so when it comes to portals, if you dream about things like airports or like you're in a cab or you're traveling in the dream, it's more than likely you're also astrally traveling as well. But we'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. Let's see here. I dream about stressing. Oh, Pokey. I mean, there's different types of dreams. Some dreams. Oh my gosh, Wolfie is right underneath my tripod right now. So apologies if things move around. Sometimes your dreams are your consciousness or your cognition just working out everything that you've like. Because think about it, when you're going around in your day, right? You're not able to actually consciously be aware of everything, right? So, but you have experienced everything. So sometimes your dreams are you just like working out all of the intel that you got in that day and then just kind of like parsing through everything that you weren't consciously maybe aware of, right? So thank you guys for joining. Thank you, my grounds. We're going to continue on with the read. I am MJ, Mary J. Watson, Mary Jane Watson. I'm reading Dark Ages, which is actually really like, I read it a little bit ahead of time before we got on the live. I was actually napping beforehand. I wasn't even going to go on, but I was like, no, this story needs to be read because it's got, it's a good one. I like it. And I love crossovers. I love Marvel and DC equally. If I had to choose between the two, I couldn't because I have stories in each universe that are very dear to my heart. Underwriting the concept, imagination, they did. Iron Man. Oh yeah, who doesn't love, do you guys love Iron Man? Iron Man, I only nap if I'm sick. You are an Aquarius though, Pokey, so I feel like anyone who's an air sign, if you're an Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini, your mental state is very, very active, even in like restful dream states. It can be a practice to turn it off, right? And just be more present in the now, right? Because air signs have a tendency to live in the future, the future time. Was Iron a train or a rocket man? I like the idea of a rocket man. I also love Elton John's song, Rocket Man. Okay, let's continue onward. Tony, he's definitely a type, right? And my younger self would have probably thought Tony Stark was a hottie and being very attracted to that. My older self prefers Captain America. Okay, so oh yeah, so Pepper is telling Tony that she doesn't want to go to the bunker because she doesn't want to be underneath the building that's falling down. And Tony's like, don't worry about it because Galactus could tap dance on it. It's a strong bunker. I built it, baby. Don't worry about it. He says back, I'm serious. I have run the simulations all the way up to a shuffle ball challenge. Just get to the elevator, Pepper. And she's like, okay, fine, I'm going, but I want you home. Classic Pepper, too. Iron Man's like, all right, don't worry, I'm on my way, babe. Armor, what was that? Well, I guess he's called it, like, Vision became Jarvis. Jarvis became Vision, right? So I guess now the armor doesn't have that same consciousness. So he says, Armor, what was that? I'm not sure, sir. Ah, you missed most of a word there. Which word? Which? Did you not know? Sir, Shh. Armor, run a full system check. So something happened. They're just not exactly sure what. Friday is his other AI. Oh, yes. Thank you for that, Pokey. Yes. Oh, and thank you for the caterpillar chaos for it's going to turn into a butterfly. Yay. Appreciate it. Hey, Armin. Tony Robot. You know what? I don't know if that's this, though. because it doesn't seem like the suit has like a proper AI in it, or it's faulty. We'll see. So Screech, so Pepper has gone into the elevator. The elevator is now crashing down into the ground. She's still on the phone. I'm surprised she still has service, because anyone knows getting into the elevator with a phone like immediately drops. But I guess it's Iron Man, so he's got a phone that has that kind of service. Tony, can you hear me? I can hear you. Are you in the bunker? No, the elevator stopped. I think we lost power. Yeah, there's a bit of that going around. So I guess Tony didn't consider that about getting to the bunker, the fact that the elevator would need power to go all the way down. Tony created that phone, more than likely, right? Oh, hey, Eduardo. Herbie, who the Fantastic Four robot, he had a crush on Tiny Robot Friday. Oh, cute. All right. Visit. Sir, I've lost Miss Potts. I don't think that this AI is Friday, you guys. I feel like it might be pre-Friday suit. All right. Iron Man continues on saying, "We're losing everything." Meanwhile, Pepper's inside the elevator. It's all dark. There's no power. She says, "Ah, Wolfie, stop." Oh my gosh, Wolfie. Stop licking. Wolfie, stop it. Okay? Wolfie has food sensitivity. Or, oh, hi, Papa Dave. Thank you for that gift. Welcome. Wolfie, he does this thing, like sucking on your thumb. He does that with his feet, which then he overdoes it, and then he ends up with raw feet. So that's why he has socks sometimes, because he has skin sensitivities. Yes, I have a special needs dog, but I mean, he's worth it, just like most of us who require a little bit of special care. Thanks, Papa Dave. Well, I'm Mary Jane, right? And go get him, Tiger, right? So everyone needs that little support in their corner, right? And all the non-super powered help out there who are also part of saving the world, right? Because what is the world without the people that you love in it, right? What are you saving the world for, right? Willie's okay. Where are you? I'm in Toronto. It's cold here now, so we're switching into winter season, which is I'm not really ready for. All right, guys, let's continue on. I've run a systems check. Let me guess. The suit is shutting down because there's no power. Yes, sir. Armor bond integrity at 30%. Repulsor full fail imminent. Point me toward home and call Captain America. Oh no. Do you like winter, Pokey? Out of a question, because it seems like it's not here yet, unfortunately. It sounds like you're lamenting the fact it's not there. All right, so power's going down. Iron Man's all right. Call Cap. Cap always looks huge. Call it closest Avengers. Yeah, I love Captain America, you guys. Huge love. It's cold where you're at. Aw, I'm always the person who's always cold, you guys. Even in, like in the summertime when I used to work in an office, like downtown office, corporate job, and every time in the summertime, they'd always pump the air conditioning like crazy. And so you wear a cute summer dress outside, and then you go inside the office and it's freaking freezing, wearing a sweater and little gloves to type in. I was we need office snuggies. Tim and George is going to cold there. Yeah, but I mean, do you guys do crazy air conditioning? Because George is usually warm, no? You're 0 degrees, wanna bet? I don't like coldness. I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba, where it's minus, colder than the moon sometimes. So, sometimes people are here, aren't you from Winnipeg? Don't you, can't you just stay? It doesn't mean I like the cold weather. That's why I left. Which I'm reading Dark Ages and Illest Villain. Thank you for those gifts. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, no. I'm kind of in the middle of the wave of all the time space right now, because the time dilation is real, you guys. I've been trying to like this read. I was supposed to actually read you guys 2 nights ago, but I got sidetracked. So it's kind of like a matter of like, what did one of my D&D players say to me? He's like, a wizard is never late, right? So, Pokey, it'll happen when it's meant to happen, kind of thing, weird thing. The back of the Iron Man suit responds to Tony Stark's low power and call Captain America. I love all your intel, you guys. Thank you, my friends. And it's me, Ray. Hello, welcome to the read. I'm Mary Jane. I'm reading you guys a Dark Ages Marvel comic book, which of course stars Spidey, and we're gonna get to him very soon. So Iron Man, his power is low. He calls Cap. Cap responds, Iron Man, what's? And he's yelling, Cap, sir, cellular communications are about to zzz. Avengers, Tony? So before he can finish, Cap's like, what the heck? You just cut out. New York never slept. Armor, I've lost the trajectory. Am I still pointed at Stark Tower? It slowed all night. It hummed. So basically, Tony Stark's flying blind now, right? He's trying to get back to Stark Tower to get to Pepper, but he's flying, he doesn't know where he's going. Like, I can imagine that being tough, because these days, even driving around the city, if you don't have GPS, kind of hard, right? Thanks for okay. Now, but that was before. Armor, I can't see. Before we failed, I can't move. Before everything fell, I'm blind. So he's falling out of the sky, Iron Man, right now, because the armor suit's not responding. I really don't think it's Friday. Everything's failing. Oh, thank you for sharing my drawings from my little sticker drawings. More to come, you guys. So my dream dragons, if you want to join tomorrow, we're going to talk about, I'm going to be Psylocke, a version of Psylocke. It's not a complete true Psylocke, but Psylocke has a very interesting backstory because she, in one of her versions, is supposed to also be Betsy Braddock, who's the twin sister to Captain Britain, and is a founding member of, well, not a founding member, but she's part of Excalibur, which deals with Rachel Summers and Kitty Pryde and all that kind of fun stuff. So we're going to talk a little bit about that tomorrow, but I needed to get this read out to you guys because it deals with like apocalypse scenario, right? So this idea of like the dark ages, and even when in your own life you go through a dark period, a dark age, it's this matter of like you just have to keep going, right? Keep turning the pages, right? Because it's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. But if you keep going, keep pushing through, there is hope, right? So we've got a big crash before everything crashed. Kraboom. Crunch. I'm trying to do rah. Love it. Well, not love it, but like, it's the sound effects of everything going down. But it's not clear like what's actually causing this. It's just the fact that like in New York City everything's kind of falling apart, right? Impact. Brace for impact, right? My grants. So Tony fell from the sky, looks like. Before everything stopped. But he did make it back home to Pepper, just, she's running out, all frightened. Tony. And he says, dark. Before the lights went out. It's all gone. Dark. Forever. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Is that how we start on? Looks like Pepper's okay. Looks like Tony's the one who's worse for wear trying to get back there because all the power went out, so he had no GPS, no AI, no help, and just crashed into his own tower. Oh, thanks, Ellen. Appreciate that. And thank goodness he made home as well. Yeah, because no matter what, I will get home, right? I'll drag myself through the door, but I'll get there, right? So that's a cool cover as well. Now we're in New Jersey. We're going to flash back to New Jersey. The one thing I notice about Marvel, right, when you're comparing it to DC has like, so DC has like Gotham and Metropolis and Central City, Coast City. Bloodhaven. These are just, they're made up places. I find that Marvel tends to drown it or to ground themselves in real places like New York City. Like Spider-Man is from like New York City, right? So it's like this idea of what's real, right? Thank you, Billy. Who lives in New Jersey? I'm trying to remember. I mean, New York, I visited New York in a little while. It was a long time ago. It was before I moved to Toronto, actually. My best friend actually ended up dancing for Alvin Ailey in New York City. And so I visited there in the summer before I moved to Toronto. And it was really, really cool, actually. Let's see here. Jarvis has evaded Pepper to respond to impact. Limo ready. 20 minutes later, Piper arrived. Crazy. I love that. And then so New Jersey. Flush, New Jersey. It was a Friday. It was a lot easier to keep track of the days back then. Just a regular Friday afternoon catch up. Oh, so Jessica Jones is in New York City, you guys. I never watched that show. I don't know if you guys did. Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, their girl Danny, and some pizza. So, doesn't sound bad. Pizza party with Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and friends. And looks like Mary Jane's there too. So, Peter Parker. Oh, he's right here. Yeah, MJ? I guess maybe the Parkers are hanging out in New Jersey, you guys. Luke Cage, generated electric atomic superhero. I'm not as familiar with Luke Cage as much. I'll do some background digging into that when I replay this. Okay, Peter Parker. Yeah, MJ? Our daughter is on the ceiling again. And then, yeah. And Mary Jane's like, are you okay with your daughter being on the ceiling? I mean, May's not gonna fall. What's the worst that could happen in between pizza slices eating? She could put her hand in the light socket. Okay, well, thanks for the input, Jess. Sorry, I investigate a lot of deaths. Look, it's simple. I'd like to teach our daughter the floor is for walking and the ceiling is for, all the things that ceilings are for. Essentially, I'd like gravity to be a rule set in our home. So, as you would imagine, MJ and Peter's kids are not normal kids. And so they named their daughter May after Aunt May, right? And so May loves to crawl on the ceiling. And MJ's like, are you going to do anything about this? Like, what the heck? Pill power. Paigey, oh boy, my big sister May on the wall again. Exactly, right? I wonder if each of the kids, all the Parker children, didn't. I didn't know we had a daughter. I guess we do. And she's got superpowers. I mean, something to consider, you guys, to all of you guys who have like maybe kids who are going to express superpowers. Like, how do you set boundaries on things like that? Okay. Essentially, I'd like gravity to be a rule set in our home, says MJ. And Peter reaches up. He's like, yeah, okay, I'll get her down. Da? Hey, Angel. Time to set. And then the spiders felt it first. So, yes, you got it. Ooh, prize for you. Keep it back. You recognized it. It's a great read. So basically what's happening is Peter Parker and MJ have kids. May's a little mischievous. I feel like I'd be like this too, crawling on the ceiling. But then something happens, like the Spidey sense, right? So all the Spideys who have that power feel it first. So you can see there that they're reacting to something. So we felt the danger coming so strongly, it physically hurt. Hey, are we still doing this? Or May, I'd felt strong spider sense before, like when Galactus was approaching the Earth. But this was worse. So much worse. It wasn't like the devourer of worlds was coming to eat the planet. It was like he was already taking a bite Hey, Gone Bitch. Welcome, welcome. Of course. And you know what? Those Spidey powers, pretty cool, right? Even the idea of the web, right? Weaving the web, all the connections, how something can seem so delicate yet so strong at the same time, right? Um, and God, Mitch, it's been a while. Hope you're well. We're reading Gut Dark Ages. I'm MJ, Mary Jane Watson, as a celebration to all those out there who are like the girlfriends, the boyfriends, the support to the superhero doing their thing, because that role is important too, right? Okay. So baby May, Peter Parker's and MJ's kid, crawling on the ceiling, midway of them trying to parent, danger comes, and they're all feeling it through their spidey senses. Hey, are we still doing this? Or May, I'd felt strong. So we're talking about like they thought it feels more than when Galactus came. It feels like Galactus actually, like as she put it, is taking a bite out of the world. That's what it feels like. And thank you for liking and following the live, eyes. I like the name Isaac. Perfect. And comment here, it's devourer of natural universe energy. It's close. Yes. And so this is also why Franklin Richards is quite important. I've read you guys the history of the entire Marvel universe before, and in that they talk about how important Franklin Richards is because he's able to make a pocket dimension, pocket universe to put all the superheroes while like the world ends, basically, so that when the rebirth happens, we have superheroes, right? I feel like a similar thing has happened in this realm in like a different kind of way. And I truly believe that many of our fairy tales, mythos, superhero stories, things that resonate with you, they have a deeper nugget of truth on a higher level for you, right? He is my OC, my original character, Sydney's older brother. I love the name Sydney ever since Scream. Sydney Prescott, final girl material, right? Okay, let's continue onwards. Which was about right. In an underground laboratory across town, a warning system pinged. Huh? Moon Girl. Oh, this is Moon Girl. Moon Girl's Moon Girl's mind raced ahead of the problem, saw the pattern that no one else could see just yet. Oh no. Devil. So Devil's the T-Rex. It's her like I would love that, Moon Girl. Moon Girl has in her pet T-Rex on the case. Isn't that just the quantum realm in Marvel? No. Well, I mean, like, think about it. No and yes, Pokey, because, I mean, when you're talking about the multiverse and different universes, I don't think there's any clear answers per se, right? Um, but it's a universe that exists outside of time. So there's also another universe, I feel like, in Marvel called, it's kind of like the Phantom Zone in DC, where it's a realm that exists out of time. I mean, my personal cosmology of how time works is that like time is just another dimension, and it's kind of like a stream that goes around the material plane. Tomorrow we'll talk a little bit about how the Forgotten Realms world has a cosmology, and we can kind of map it to DC's other cosmologies that are in different fantastical worlds, and like look at the commonalities of things, like how Atlantis works, and like the different alien civilizations and how they kind of interact. So Miss Moon, Gen Z, yes. Oh, hi, Eric Jones, the Black Widow. Oh, but yeah. Let's keep going, guys. Okay. So Devil. Moments later, Lunella Lafette was racing through New York on her dinosaur, the world's smartest person on her way to Baxter Building to talk to the world's second smartest person. Who's the world's second smartest person? The strongest minds on the planet sensed it come online. Charles, do you feel it? Oh, Jean, look, it's Mama Jean. Hey, Jean. I feel it, Jean. A mind has awoken, unlike any I have felt before. And one went further. What does it say here? En Saba Nur He was a cyberpath and generally just bad news. His mind touched something old and powerful. Oh, J Derp, I am. No. I'm Mary Jane. I'm MJ Watson. I was gonna actually put a mask on and be like Peter Parker's female version. Like if Peter Parker was Pietra. You know, because every male has like a female version inside, and every female has a male version inside, and like what that kind of looks like. But also MJ tonight. But Jean Grey's right here. Oops, right there. So something has happened in the universe, you know, like a shift in the universe, right? Something has happened, something has come online, and of course, like psychics are going to feel it. And I guess if you think about the spidey sense, that is psychic in nature, right? The idea of like being able to sense danger ahead of time. So we got Mama Jean over here reaching out telepathically to Charles Xavier, being like, "Did you feel that?" And he's like, "Totally, yes, I did." Scarlet Witch would totally feel it too. So anyone who's, and this is a tell for all of you magic users out there as well, right? Even if you don't know you are one yet. Things like solar flares or these changes in the cycles of the universe, you're going to be sensitive to. And so what I can feel when a spider is near, yeah, Marvel Universe Forever. So these subtle changes in the unseen realms or the dreamscape, there's going to be those who have certain powers that are going to be sensitive and feel it, right? So I look at these things as like a tell into like this reality too. So something like that. Yes, and you're correct. Scarlet Witch would feel that as well. I read you guys a story actually with Scarlet Witch and the Phoenix and like that whole storyline arc. Very cool, but that's not today's read. Thank you. Yes, we're going into this is like your late night into the weekend read. Okay, a mind has awoken unlike anything I've ever felt before. So we've got, I think it's apocalypse, essentially. Let's see here. So yes, and craved more. I hear you. J Derp, Gwen Stacy has her own original character, I think also named Luna. But Luna Snow is kind of strong. Yeah. All right, let's continue onwards. What's happening? So the rest of the like non-telepath, non-spidey sense people who are hanging out having pizza are it was apocalypse. I think you're right. Like the way how did they explain it here? En Saba Noor, he was a cyberpath and generally bad news. His mind touched something old and powerful and craved more. I hear you. So I am not familiar either. Apocalypse to me is very similar to Darkseid in the DC universe. Yeah, so Darkseid is DC, right? But like, look at how similar the styling is, right? Yeah, exactly. And that's something to kind of talk about how like the equivalencies in myth. Like if you think about even Egyptian myth, Greek myth, Roman myth, you have equivalencies of like the god Mercury, right? Mercury is Hermes, also Thoth. So you can have like these kind of like archetypes that represent certain energy signatures that are similar, right? Yes, Pokey, first mutant and takes others' powers. Yes, so that's something to note in the mythos of everything as well. Because the Darkseid in the DC universe, thank you for bringing that up, Pokey. Darkseid in DC Universe, the way it was explained in New Krypton comic book was that Darkseid is actually Kryptonian. He's like a genetically altered Kryptonian that has been like tortured and all that kind of stuff. So that's why he has like hates Kryptonians because of all of the damage that they've done to him. But like he was like created to become like a weapon. And I'm sure like you guys, like we've had like movies like that where, you know, people like Manchurian candidates or people get like mind wiped and they like become something that they're like not because they have certain, you know, strength markers, right? God of mutant beginnings. Yes. Oh, I was just seeing what color. Oh, thank you. Original mutant. Perfect. You guys, we're all well versed here in mutant powers, looks like. Okay, so Luke Cage, Jessica Jones are looking over Peter and they're like, what the heck is going on? What's happening? And Peter says, I don't know, Luke. It's spider sense. It's pretty clear on the impending doom. but has always been very frustrating when it comes to the details. And I'm sure, like anyone who has had prophetic visions or prophetic dreams, or you have these like senses of like the future, it's like, as he said, like, well, I know danger's coming, but like, I don't really know much more than that, like how to stop it, when, where, all that kind of stuff. But it just hurts, right? So it's just an interesting thing when it comes to you guys as well, or whenever you're getting messages or senses, or like I can sense something's happening, that maybe it could feel like pain, right? And it's just how we ascribe meaning to it that matters, right? Okay. Is what they say back. All I know is something very, very bad is about to happen. I need to see Reed and Sue. So he means Reed and Sue, Reed Richards and Sue Storm, right? So MJ, holding May, who she's now gotten off the ceiling, says to Peter, I want you to get to safety. But, oh, wait, Peter says this to MJ. I want you to get to safety, but I don't know where that is. Yes, Mommy Storm. Yes. Because, I mean, they're the first family, right? I need to uncensor all your comments, my friends. And I was Supergirl before. Yes, Eric Jones. These are all my different characters. And MJ is like my girl next door girl, right? The girl who's just like, I got you. If like you got to go out fighting crime, and I'm going to make you pie when you get back. Where Tony reboot Friday? I don't know what happened to Tony. It kind of left off on a cliffhanger, right? Like where we last left it was like Tony crashed, Pepper found him. We went back to New Jersey, and the Spideys all got like a big hit of like, oh my gosh, impending doom is coming. So Peter says to MJ, I want you to get to safety. I don't know where that is. And MJ says back to him, listen, it's okay. Go do what you need to do, right? Oh, JJ, I don't know if Tony survives in this. It does get really dark, right? There's not very many. We'll get to a certain point. I'll finish off the rest of it, probably with my face mask on another time, but we'll see how far we can get. But I don't know if Tony survives, JJ. Now going to see my... Yes, exactly. We're going to go see Reed Richards and Sue. So Spidey's off. And you can see, go off to see the Fantastic Four. Reed, I'm kind of busy here, Johnny. Sure, it's just, there's a dinosaur parked in our lobby. The first tremor was felt in New York at midnight. And you can see, what was Master Richards? Moon Girl. Val? What is it? You need to see something, Dad. Oh, so Val, I suppose, is Reed Richards and Sue's daughter. I'm not familiar with her, actually. You need to see something, Dad. See, the tremors aren't consistent with tectonic plate shifts. The quakes are too short. They look like impact tremors, but it can't be on the surface. We know this is coming from the deep. We're being attacked from inside the earth. Dad, so you can see here, Reed looks great here, by the way. Reed and Sue, they look, I like it. He looks great. Dad, and then I think the world is ending. And then there's a big sound, big blast. And yes, you can see them all reacting to it. Uh-oh. He does have so many powers. She is Reed and Sue. Oh, Mommy Storm. Yes, I needed to uncensor that. And then we see here, the world is ending. He was named Uatu. Is that how I say it? Uatu? U-A-T-U. The Watcher. Your typical intergalactic being of immense power, who spent all of his time watching Earth from the moon, right? So, Pokey, is it you? Watching everything from the moon? He was effectively an omnipotent stalker. This is what I've been watching for. The Earth has hours. Well, I have watched What If, yes, Pokey, but not all the episodes. I watched, oh my goodness, Captain Britain, Chica, that one. What if the serum was given to, why is her name escaping me right now? And I like her a lot. The Watchers are significant, yes. Well, I mean, every story requires an observer, right? So, even when tomorrow we talk about dragons, like you're talking about the really, really almost like formless divine kind of beings, right? And it's almost like this idea of like Captain Carter. Yes, thank you, Pokey. Peggy, yes, Peggy Carper. Yes, yes, yes. Said spoiler. Oh, no, 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 no worries. I'm okay with spoilers, you guys, you know? I've said this to you guys before where to me, I can watch the same movie like 10 times and then come to the same parts and still be like surprised by it. I'm also really interested in how other people perceive stories. So when people tell me spoilers in stories, it usually doesn't spoil it for me, right? So it's good. It also makes me feel kind of like a god, you know, when you know something's gonna happen next, you're like, aha, I am psychic, right? Fathers with big heads and observe through the galaxy. Yes. Well, it's like that idea of, I don't know if you guys have read fantasy novels where you have wizards or like these like really being like really, really powerful magic users where they're like, well, I can't get involved. Or I cannot interfere directly. That's why they need champions or like that kind of thing. The Watches God. Yeah, I have an illustration I'll show you guys tomorrow about how the cosmology of Marvel, I didn't make it, but someone drew it and I'll show you guys tomorrow. It's really nice how they kind of showed all the different like layers and how like the different universes are connected. So, ta-da. And that's a great comment. John Boy, you enjoy the ride versus the actual destination. 100%, right? It's like this idea of you know, like when I play a video game, right? And like, so you play the whole story and then you come to the last level and you beat the level, you beat the game. It's like bittersweet, right? Because you're like, wow, like it's over, even though I won, right? So it's just that kind of idea. Taskmaster. I like Moon Knight too. I was asking my dungeon master the other day, I'm like, are there moon dragons? He's like, not exactly, but there are moonstone dragons, actually. So Wizards magazine. Love that. Okay. So the Watcher is basically showing up and he's like, this is what I've been watching for. The Earth has like very, very little time left. We got to do something. So like maybe now he's like, now I will interfere. Spider-Woman. You know, actually, I really like, oh my goodness, I forget her name right now. The Spider-Woman who's really good friends with Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel and Spider-Woman are good friends. And they're actually friends with Scarlet Witch too. So you'll find that like in the superhero groups, there's like little friend groups that are in them. So, oh yeah, I gotta really like Jessica Drew. Thank you, Gwen Stacy. And I have a thing for that last name, Drew, because I used to read all those books, Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys, right? Detectives. Okay, so continuing onwards. 10 billion years ago, a living machine was created. The unmaker was tainted and wild, and it began to unmake everything. The living machine unmade worlds and entire galaxies. The machine contained too much power to destroy, and so the unmaker was put to sleep. Who made this guy though? This guy, right? It was made. Oh wait, I read the comic book wrong, right? So look at the panels here. You're actually supposed to go from like here, like across. So we'll redo it. Where is Father Black Panther at? He's here somewhere. I'll read about you in the comic. Well, MJ, spoiler alert, she makes it because of her babies. We'll get to that point. It was made to protect the universe, to stop entropy in its tracks, to consume black holes. But over millennia, feeding on so much darkness changed the being. It corrupted its core. So this being was made for good things. And it's like a similar thing that's happened in the Green Lantern lore, where you have the great powerful beings want to have protection for the universe. So they create a living machine. They're like, okay, this is going to protect people. You're going to eat black holes, eat bad stuff, all that stuff. But I guess you are what you eat. So if you eat too many black holes and evil stuff, he became corrupted, right? Darkness overloads his battle. Yeah, exactly. So this is kind of cool imagery too. You can kind of see like the cosmic portals. So then the Unmaker was tainted and wild, and it began to unmake everything. The living machine unmade worlds and entire galaxies. Until finally, this intergalactic menace was challenged and beaten by the living tribunal. The machine contained too much power to destroy, and so the Unmaker was put to sleep. It's like similar to how when Constantine, or if you're dealing with like certain like demons or like bad guys where they're too powerful to destroy, or destroying them will cause like a cascading effect or ramifications to the rest of the world. So you're like, okay, I need to put you in like a bottle or contain you or put you in like another dimension or that kind of thing. Darkness overloads that what? Blows my mind. Oliver, hi, welcome. I'm reading Dark Ages. Do I remember Ben Potter? That sounds so familiar, Arrow. I don't know why. Remind me, my friend. All right, so we have the living tribunal going up against. So they're basically putting this Unmaker living machine to sleep because he like went like corrupted and went like way out of whack. Now, and imprisoned in the center of a newly forming world, Earth. Oh my gosh, what a crazy. So it's kind of similar to like the Greek myth of like the Titans and stuff, where the living tribunal took this machine thing and put it in a prison, and this prison is basically the core of Earth, and that's what we're dealing with right now. The earthquakes and stuff is like that thing waking up, basically like, let me out. And he's comic historian. I know him then, Arrow. Yes. I need to have, hopefully in 2026, I will have a few more collaborations and interviews when it comes to comic book stuff and bringing them to life. That kind of stuff. Wait, it's Dr. Strange. No, this is Dark Ages. This is the Living Tribunal. He looks a lot like Spectre in DC. They have like a similar kind of look and the same kind of cosmic entity kind of thing. I feel like we don't have to worry too much about Mama Jean in this one, Stacy, because like I feel like she's still alive at least. In many cases, Jean's never there. She's always just talked about. Yes, it is Doctor Strange. I'm just not there yet. All right. But now this long dormant living machine is waking. So this is the Watcher telling them what they're dealing with right now, right? When it wakes to its power fully, it will crack open the planet and unmake this world and worlds beyond. No big deal, kind of crazy. And so the thing says, okay, so we need to put it down, obviously. I mean, you said that with a lot of conviction, Ben, but do you have any idea how we're supposed to do that? Says Johnny. And we came up with an idea for how to do that. The greatest thinkers on the planet put our heads together and decided that we had to take the threat on directly. Yeah, I'm just blind. I was busy looking at this. I'm like, what do you mean, Doctor Strange? I'm like, oh yeah, he's on the next page. Do I believe in supernatural? I do, actually. I I think though people need to also realize like a lot of things are agnostic in the sense of you get to wield whether or not magic is good or evil, right? Or chaotic or orderly. You have human beings have a very unique position in the sense that we have choice, right? So I believe Joe Henry. So like Doctor Strange, for example, so all the wizards come from like almost humanoid backgrounds usually. Something there. That's a Wagner, the cooker. I agree with you too. I believe that we're in a dense world where everything exists. We're just in a low vibration. Yeah. So think about it like spectrums and vibration, right? And you as a radio being able to perceive things. Like generally speaking, we to just walk around the world have a lot of veils and blinders on because we wouldn't be able to like drive a car, go to work, do all like the mundane things if we were like, oh my gosh, everything's magical. There's a unicorn. There's fairies over there. It's a lot. So I do feel like we have our own personal checks and balances when it comes to our own magic. It's almost like you from the future will know when you're ready to come to awareness of certain things, right? Like you've left yourself breadcrumbs from ancient future time so that when you come to a certain point in the story, you'll know what to do. Because if you do something too early or too late, like that, it spoils the surprise, right? And so it's like we do like play hide and seek with ourselves, right? We play hide and seek with our higher selves. So like I do believe in it, but we're not necessarily, let's say, like allowed to remember certain dreams yet, right? Until you like, let's say, have the right moment and the right time. Yeah, and that's 111 Wagner. Yes. Yeah, I see you. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And there are practices you can do to elevate out of the lower vibrations, right? Like listening to good music, having personal practices like even divinating, meditating, breathing, reading comic books, right? Reading stories that bring you to a place that you can have a deeper understanding of what is, right? Reiki. Oh, thanks, guys. So do you, though. I'm. It's gone in the ether, Pokey. Oh, Mary Jane. Yes, Mary Jane. Yeah, and I also have it as a double entendre, right? In terms of cannabis, right? The devil's lettuce, that kind of thing. Because when we're talking about symbolic things to talk in code, I truly believe that the universe speaks to us encoded in stories like this, right? And because you're interested in it, because you want to know more about it, you'll go down the right rabbit holes. Yes. All right, guys, let's go on for a couple more minutes and I'm going to wrap and I'll be back on tomorrow. So we assembled a strike team, the vision, a living machine to fight a living machine. So they're going to put vision versus this, right? So, and then we've got the Scarlet Witch. See, of course we have to have the magics. You need the magics to fight. So, the Scarlet Witch, a shaper of reality to fight against a being who could unmake it. Doctor Strange, baby. The Sorcerer Supreme to fight the pinnacle of technology. Always need a little bit of magic there, right? And then we've got the Invisible Woman to protect them from the heat of the Earth's core. And then we've got and the Thing, in case anything could be solved by hitting really hard. They said their goodbyes. And stepped through a portal, right? Because there's always a portal. I think sometimes we forget, too, that Sue Storm's got, like, crazy psionic energy, too. They said their goodbyes and stepped through a portal, carrying Earth's final hopes to the center of the world. So it's kind of like they're going on a mission to go to the center of the Earth to take the fight right to this thing. So this is their team. You got Vision, Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, The Thing, Sue Storm. So pretty good team, right? Yeah. Intention, emotion, belief. Oh, yeah. Whew. I mean, like, that's also too, like, I had a conversation with my friend who loves Emma Frost. And I feel like Emma Frost and Jean Grey are a great way to look at, like, how different psychic powers express themselves, right? This idea of, like, where you have psychic powers that are entrenched in your body. Oh, Pokey, after this, I'm going to sleep. I'm waking up early tomorrow because Rec Room here in Toronto, tomorrow morning has free gaming from like 9 a.m. till noon. So I need to actually wake up and hopefully I can maybe live stream it because then they've got all like the racing simulators and like all the Halo games you can like play free. Yeah, Emma. And so Emma, just to get back to the differentiation between those psychic powers, that Emma is very mental, like mental constructs, the White Queen, like ice, like it's sharp constructs, like and just like how like to the point and like how she would do things in that telepathic way would be much more mental versus Jean Grey, who her powers come from like empathy. So more of feeling things out. And I relate more to that way of relating to it, right? So that kind of thing. Doctor Strange is my fave character in Marvel because he's so spirit. It's probably because you're also a magician there, Wagner, right? I feel like magic users resonate with other magic users because think about it. I can tell a lot from a person based on like who their favorite characters are. So you just saying that is like, oh, clearly you're the magic user of the party, right? Versus someone who maybe is more of a fighter or someone who is more of like tech, right? Or someone who has like a mech suit, right? So in your own hero's journey, who you are inspired by gives you information about yourself, right? I think we'll have Emma Frost as the main character in the new X-Men movies when they come out. Well, I think Eric, Emma Frost is the logical, like she goes through a really wonderful redemption arc too, right? And I love those characters who aren't just like, it's too easy for them to be like goody two shoes, right? So going through this perspective of being like, I'm kind of a badass, but I'm choosing to do good here, right? In the end. My favorite Marvel character is Wolverine. God, bitch, there's a huge thing to that too, right? Because Wolverine's kind of like a god too, right? Very like a god of the wild, immortal, because the healing factor aspect, right? And I think there's a story of how Wolverine is like the only human being to ever like go into the white hot room or the macabre crystal because he's the only one who can like withstand that amount of like pain and suffering, right? I mean, they're all gods when you think about it. Yeah, yes. And I think it's for us to also realize that like which characters that we let into our own personal consciousness, our own personal mythos, and what version of them we choose to have in our life, our world, right? There's something to it. Because like someone said to me the other day when I was talking about chemistry, like chemistry isn't real. I'm like, what a really interesting thing to say, right? Because someone could say to you, Spider-Man's not real. Okay, but so aren't like driver's licenses really. Like what is that, right? I can't hold it or hug it or touch it, right? So what is real, right? Is all really up to you. Like there's a story with Supergirl in Crisis where when the world gets devoured, it's like they no longer exist. But if I have a memory of it already existing, even though it no longer existed, didn't it exist? Right? The idea of like something no longer existing, but if you have a memory of it, doesn't that mean that something happened? So I don't know. Let's see here. Isn't there someone in the X-Men that's immortal because he's able to switch his biology? I'm not quite sure. Yeah, exactly, Wagner. Each of the type of archetype that we can relate to. And also the characters that are a lot more like, let's say, they go through like a redemption arc or they go through a situation where like Han Solo in Star Wars, right? Where he's like that rapscallion, but in the end, you do the right thing for your friends kind of thing. So like these different nuances in how characters play out, it's like a thing. I agree, Eric. Cyclops, because Cyclops is the leader, right? And of course, he's Canadian. And you know what? Also, too, Gotten Bitch, it's because there's something to be said about like those who are honed by the environment that they're in. Like, if you're tough enough to withstand the harsh, cold winter of the north, and like you go, right? I think about this a lot because I don't have a sense of smell. Is the world less real too? I don't know about that, Brandon. Like, and do you mean you don't have a sense of smell, or you have a what you would say like not sensitive sense of smell? Because that could sometimes be a gift, you know. You know, have you ever been trapped in an elevator with some certain people? Okay, let's keep going for a little bit because then I gotta nap or sleep at a reasonable hour so that I can be up early tomorrow. And then hopefully I can live stream some of the gaming, and we're gonna do a whole expose on dream dragons and like the equivalencies between the planetary luminaries and metals, and how there's like different truths and stories when it comes to things like chemistry and physics and stuff, right? Yeah, and the Fantastic Four are the best super family, the first family of superheroes. Okay, so they're in their bubble, the Strike Force team that's there to prevent the end of the world. So Thing says they're looking at the guy, the living machine that they're there to kill, saying, well, that's going to take some clobbering. The machine paid them no attention at all. It just kept trying to break open the world and escape its prison, basically. And the Thing yells out, Sue, Froom. She's the one, I think, holding up the shield at this point, right? So, moments later, the first tremor was felt across Africa. And you could see Black Panther here. What do we do? He pulls on his mask. We help. The destruction was limited in Wakanda, a nation built on a bedrock of vibranium. So that helps them. Like, they don't have as much earthquakes because they're on stable foundation that's not going to be feeling the tremors underneath as much. And then in Kathmandu, Nepal, across the world, other cities were not quite so lucky. Even Vancouver, Canada gets it. The ground heaved and buildings collapsed. It wasn't just the surface that was shaken. Beneath the waves, the seabed cracked open. And the king of the sea was powerless to stop Atlantis from being swallowed by the earth. I guess this is Dark Ages, right? Look at how cool X-23 looks here. Just saying. Speaking of Wolverine. Across the world, heroes came together to save all that they could. Schnick, schnick. Los Angeles, the Runaways. Don't be distracted by the Velociraptor. Run. I've got you. And Champion. So everyone's just kind of pulling together to save everybody that they can, right? X-Men. Hey, just sit tight in there. Actually, I guess that's a bit redundant. It's not like you have any other options. So the X-Men, the Avengers, all hands on deck to help everybody. As the world fell apart, heroes tried to keep it together. Reed, there's not going to be much left to save if the world keeps shaking. Any news from the center of the earth? At the center of the earth, I wish I could tell you that a battle raged. But it wasn't a battle. It was a slaughter. Ben! The Scarlet Witch attempted to reshape reality, but despite still waking to its full powers, the Unmaker simply unmade everything that she tried to do. So we all know, like, Scarlet Witch, super powerful. She can make constructs, make full worlds, right? So, but this is an Unmaker. So everything that Scarlet Witch is like trying to create, this thing is just basically undoing all of it. The Scarlet Witch attempted to reshape reality, but despite still waking to its full powers, the Unmaker simply unmade everything that she tried to do. And then it unmade Wanda. Oh my gosh, what the heck? So see, look, She's like being made out of existence. Oh my gosh. And you can see Vision freaking the F out, yelling, Wanda. And after she's completely disintegrated, Vision is, of course, in a rage. The Vision brought us vital seconds. He entered the Unmaker's head. So after, Wanda becomes unmade by the Unmaker, completely like disintegrated, taken out of existence, Vision, in an act of like rage because of his lady love being gone, flies right into the Unmaker's head. With the ground being unmade around them, Sue Storm defended against the Unmaker's powers. She was able to hold on to a small pocket of reality. Strange, I cannot hold back much longer. In desperation, Doctor Strange reached out to the other realities for anything that he could use against the Unmaker. Yes, good for you, Doctor Strange. Reaching out. Reach out in the other realities. Is there anyone out there, anything there that can help us? He found a weapon. He opened a portal to a dimension where no electricity could function. Remember, it's a living machine, so it needs electricity and power in some sort of way, right? An electromagnetic pulse beat at the heart of this realm. The electrical being realized what was happening and lashed out. No! You can see here Sue Storm using all her might, looking badass, pushing it all away. As the Unmaker killed Doctor Strange, the EMP did its job. It halted the Unmaker. Steven, it's okay, as he gets stabbed. We did it. Live, Sue. And with his last breath, Doctor Strange sent Sue away. Oh, Doctor Strange, he made a sacrifice. He brought a weapon that would basically be an EMP pulse to stop the Unmaker, but in the process, he got killed. And he basically opens a portal to get Sue and whoever survived out of there. But with Doctor Strange dead, the portal stayed open. The constant EMP wave grew and encompassed the entire planet and beyond. I guess Wanda's gone too, because I don't know what other magic users are there besides the Sorcerer Supreme. The constant EMP wave grew and encompassed the entire planet and beyond, sending the Earth into darkness. The sky literally began to fall. Hill, what the bleep was that? Everything stopped. Everything stopped. Did my OC... Oh no, yes, Doctor Strange made a sacrifice. Right? So, everything stopped from powered suits to switches. Oh no. Machines sustaining life. Artificial life. Oh no. I don't know who that is, if you guys know who that is. I'm not sure. But so anything that needs electricity to function basically gets conked out. Like in Escape from LA at the end, like with Snake Plissken, and like the grid just goes out. It's like that EMP pulse has basically cut everything out. Oh, thank you, Log. That is Vision, Vision's daughter. So Vision's actual daughter with like Wanda, or like conceptually in a sense, because he's not really he's a living machine too, right? So I'm not sure how that works, but thank you for that intel. Vision, what a cool character. All right, so we're gonna end off with these last few panels. We'll end off with Mary Jane, who I'm playing tonight, and then we'll be back tomorrow. Not to finish this, but tomorrow we're going to talk about dream dragons and that kind of stuff. But we will finish this story earlier on next week. I'm going to bring back Jean Grey for this. Log says, Vision created a family out of other synthetic beings, modeling his wife after Wanda. Thank you for that intel log. I did not know that. Very cool. And thank you for the follows. Coco Paleo and Shu Wafu. Hopefully I'm saying those names right. Gwen Stacy, I had the original name Sabrina, third child of Wanda and Vision. Sabrina's a good name for a daughter of Wanda, because, like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, got that little magic aspect to it. Darwin is over 200 years old. Appreciate you, Mary Jane. Appreciate you too, my grounded. And to all of you guys out there with a Mary Jane in your life, I hope, you get cookies, you get all the support you need. Let's keep going. And web shooters. So we've got Spidey, of course, is on the case. Swoop, shoop. I was trying to get back to MJ and May. As I fell, I saw my building, our home, fall too. I never should have left them. Because remember, Peter left MJ and friends, right, to go find Sue Storm and the Fantastic Four. And they went on that mission, which kind of worked, right? And so now he's like freaking out, heading back to his family, right? So he says, I never should have left them. And he's flying back and he's yelling, MJ, May, where are you? Peter, she was helping the last people evacuate when the building came down. Oh no, MJ. Jess, Luke, please help me. Peter, please just help me. So he's just digging through the rubble because the building collapsed on MJ, who was in there trying to help everybody evacuate, right? So digging through the rubble, and then Peter, finally, my God, the world was dark. But look, guess your daughter is a superhero, right? So May, you can see her like holding up the building. I'm here. That was a whole world, yes. But there was still some light. I can see MJ here be like, oh my gosh. And she looks up, all like dirty but still hot, saying, hey there, Tiger. Hey there, Mary Jane. And so that was when the world basically ended. And then we kind of flash forward and you see like Peter's gotten older and he looks very handsome. I think he looks even like better as like an older man. So 7 years ago, the world we knew ended. We built another world, a world to be proud of. But years after the lights went out, after the end, came the apocalypse. So that is where I'm going to end it for now. We're now in a new world where after our people went dark, people were scared and grieving. Their fear and hurt turned into anger. There were wars fought over borders, resources, ideologies. It was chaos. Between the initial earthquakes, the loss of power, and the wars, billions of lives were lost. But then, cutting through all that fear, rage, and chaos, came senses of calm. You can see Phoenix, Jean Grey, still around, right? It doesn't have to be like this. And a message started to spread. It doesn't have to be like this. It does not have to be like this, children. Imagine something beyond this. And then we got Deadpool, of course, is there in like dystopian future, right? Hey, so a few of my friends have been brainstorming and they have a thought. Oh, thank you. And Celia, you're here too. Oh, yay. Oh, yes, be careful with your dog. And thank you. Jarate, thank you for that. I think I hit my goal as a result. You guys, yay! And just in the end, hope you're well. So I'm just about to end this read. I'm MJ, your bestie, girl next door. To all of you superheroes out there, I'm here to provide some support, cookies, that kind of good stuff. I was reading Dark Ages. We basically have done like the preamble as to what happened to come to the world that we're in, this dystopic future, right? Dark Ages says, it is. I feel like we should probably get a live action of this now that we have the Fantastic Four live action, right? Like, get some Spider-Verse action in there, because it does a great job of expanding the cosmology. Like, it has the Watchers. It would be a great way to kind of like infuse a lot of different things. So I'm gonna leave that here. Where do we go? There's another way. It's all right, son. Oh my gosh, Captain America has a son too. We can find it together. I'm gonna finish off here. Who says a post-apocalyptic world has to be a bad place? Forget your barren wastelands, your fashion dominated by leather and skulls, and the all too common problem of roving cannibals. After the fall of civilization, everything became better. I gotcha. So then May is growing up, and look, she looks great. So I'm going to leave that there. We're going to continue onward a little bit later. I'm going to probably put my mask on. I have a version, as I said, of Peter Parker, like the female version of Peter Parker. And I don't mean gender bending. I just mean like the aspect of like every woman has like an inner archetype of a man and vice versa. It's like how, any writer, if you're writing male and female characters, it's you who are giving that voice. So as someone who has had to recently give voice to male characters and like almost create male heroes in my own story. Lots of love to all of those male creators out there who have created female characters that I really resonate with. So, it's all kind of like to show that like we are dreaming about each other, right? So let's dream wonderful dreams about each other and like maybe expect more from each other, right? And not in a way of being like, well, why'd you do that and why'd you do that, but more about let's try to elevate each other and realize that, like, what, perhaps we are so much more capable of things than what the mundane reality will let us believe, right? So I know you guys think that. And DJ Lee, do I have a favorite outfit? I mean, cosplay outfit or generally speaking? I had a friend actually when I used to work in corporate say that if he were to do me as drag, he would just be leggings. Because I love leggings. I love workout outfits. I love anything that's comfy, and extra bonus points if it's comfy and I can like move around in it and it looks cute. So that kind of stuff. So I miss Mama Jean Grey. Jean Grey will be back on Monday. I would say like my favorite cosplay to like that I feel really, really feel at home in. I'd say the first one probably be Samus Aran, and I haven't worn her in a little while because she actually requires my hair to truly be blonde and put up in a ponytail, but she'll be back soon. But each of my cosplays, I find when I wear them, they help me embody certain character aspects, right? So when I wear Jean, it's like for like psychic power, right? Or like psychic protection, or to dig deep into like more of my empathy and compassion, versus like Batgirl, who she's much more like pragmatic, very organized. She's Oracle too, right? Resilient, that kind of thing. So, and Supergirl, I love her just like that strength, and like I relate to her because sometimes I feel like an alien too, where you don't feel like you belong. Hey, King Solomon, and my I see Lou will be there Monday. Yes, Gwen Stacy. So Monday will be Mama Jean Grey. We're going to talk a little bit about genetics from a perspective of like powers, right? Because I think that the X-Men do a really interesting job as to how that would express, and also that duality of like, oh, it feels like a gift, or is it a curse? Hey, Danny Money Man. Hey. So tomorrow, though, I'm going to be Kitty Pride for some point. We're going to talk a little bit about gaming a bit, and then Psylocke, a version of Psylocke tomorrow as well. And King Solomon is kind of get a little bit of somewhat of it. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up. Thanks for joining me as MJ for a read of the beginning of Dark Ages. It's been a slice. Welcome to the weekend, warriors. And remember, Remember, it takes true courage for you to be exactly you in this cosmic game of life. So be sure to play as exactly you because the universe is counting on you. But no worries, I got your back. So go get him, Tiger. Bye.